Hello and welcome to the Philly Factor. I'm Paul Perello. I have a question for you. Does your home have a smoke alarm? Does your home have an emergency escape plan in the event of a fire in your home? Well, as the weather gets cooler and eventually colder, people will also turn to alternate ways to heat their home, and there's danger associated with that. Well, here to sort of educate us all and continue the mission of the great work of the Philadelphia Fire Department, we are fortunate enough to have with us here on the Philly Factor, Fire Commissioner Lloyd Ayers joins us on the Philly Factor. And Commissioner, thanks for spending some time with us.
Well, thank you for having me today.
It is, of course, Fire Prevention Month, the month of October, but fire prevention and sort of educating the public about fire prevention, fire safety, is sort of something that you need to do 365 days out of the year. I think you would agree.
Absolutely. It's paramount that each and every citizen understands the importance of safety in their environment, and that they should know how to move around through their environment and keep their homes fire free, keep their homes hazard free, and it's just about learning the different tips that we have to make sure that they're safe.
Of course, it all starts with having this device that we call a smoke alarm. It all starts with this simple device, which in the city of Philadelphia is required in all homes now, right?
Yes, it's required. 1 and 2 family dwellings, 3 units, all types of dwelling situations. You have to have them. And the newest legislation that went into effect was the fact that you had to have smoke alarms in single-family homes, and at one point that wasn't a law. It is the law in Philadelphia.
And of course, not only having smoke alarms in the house, but having working smoke alarms in the house, because oftentimes people forget to change the batteries. They install them. They think that they're good forever. And we've seen the tragedies. We've heard the stories. We've seen you on television.
Yes.
Telling the public that the home A didn't have smoke alarms, or they had been disarmed. So I guess it's important to have smoke alarms in the house, but make sure they're working. And you make sure they're working by having fresh batteries in the smoke alarms.
That's correct. Batteries, they're working and driving the mechanisms in the smoke alarm all year long, and they wear down.
Sure.
You just have to change them. One of the things that we're doing in Philadelphia now, the Philadelphia Fire Department, we only install now 10-year lithium battery smoke alarms, which gives a longer period of time that the smoke alarm will be viable and alive. Then you just discard the smoke alarm itself. But also it helps folks to, people that forget, now they won't have to worry as much.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, these new smoke alarms have a 10-year shelf life, for a better way to describe it. So they're installed in the house and they're sort of working and operable for 10 years, and you don't have to worry about it for like 10 years?
That's correct, but you still have to do the regular maintenance. Sure. On a smoke alarm. 10-year batteries, we test once a month versus once every week, which we would normally do with a 9-volt battery. So we test once a month with the 10-year smoke alarm, but you still have to do the other things. You have to vacuum and keep it clean and maintained and free from dust. All of those things still have to happen.
Let me tell the folks a little bit about you, Commissioner Ayers. You began your career with the Philadelphia Fire Department in 1974. You've devoted 33 years to public service with the Fire Department. As Fire Commissioner, you are charged with the management of the Fire Department's 2,400 uniformed force and all operations of the Philadelphia Fire Department, which is the 6th largest fire department in the United States. And many people may not know this, but the Fire Department, as we know it today, and fire departments across the country, actually started here in Philadelphia back in the Ben Franklin days.
That is correct. Benjamin Franklin started the Union Fire Company with around 30 of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. A lot of folks don't understand that or know that, but it's a fact. They're there. They started the Union Fire Company. They wanted to make sure that they could respond in the community and put out fires. And we are direct descendants, if you will, firematically of Ben Franklin and that Union Fire Company.
And of course, firefighting as well as fire safety and fire prevention has evolved tremendously over the past 200 plus years. to the point that Philadelphia has one of the best fire departments in the United States of America. And as you, being at the helm of it, I know you're the face of the Philadelphia Fire Department, but for all 2,400 men and women that serve the great city of Philadelphia, our hats off to you. We can't thank you and your workers, your employees, you know, the civil servants that work in the fire department enough, because you do put your life on the line each and every day. When that alarm goes off, you know, you're out there trying to, get to the root of the fire and also save lives. So we thank you for that very much.
Well, I'll say thank you on behalf of the men and women, paramedics and firefighters that work here in this city, the administrative workers, people that do the research and keep all of the life safety information and functions flowing. We thank you for that. We mentioned at the outset of the program that it's imperative that you have a smoke alarm in the house, but it's equally as important, especially in October being Fire Prevention Month, Fire Safety Month, that you sort of have an escape plan if, in fact, your home is the target of a fire. If there's a fire in your house, you know, we often hear of escape plans, and you know, we also, you know, I'm sure it's very a frantic time. People are panicked; they don't know, you know. But if you have a plan, at least if you're prepared in the event of such a tragedy, you could probably save precious minutes in getting out of the house, and also save lives in the long run. Yes, absolutely. At the start of the preparation, if you will, you have to have a smoke alarm, one on every level. Without the early warning, you don't get to gain those precious seconds that turns into minutes. And fire moves fast. People don't understand that. Some people know that. We've been talking about it for a long time, and you have to have those seconds. So you have to have working smoke alarms, one on every level, basement to the top floor in your home. 4 smoke alarms minimum if it's a 3-story with a basement. If it's a 2-story with a basement, you definitely have to have 3 smoke alarms. Many people, we tell them, put one in every room. You wouldn't be overdoing it. If you can afford to put one in every room, put one in every room. If you can afford a system that intercommunicates with each alarm intercommunicate with each other, then have that type of system. But that's the keystone to that. Next, you have to have a way out of each room, and you sit down with your family, everybody that's living in that home or in that two-story or two-family home. What you have to do is you make sure that everyone knows the plan. It have to be 2 ways out of each room. If the primary means of egress from that room, which is a door usually, is blocked, you have to talk to folks to let them understand how to use the window. Same for the children. You have to tell them that if there's smoke in the room, that they have to get to the floor immediately. We don't want our citizens standing up in a smoky room. As you stand up, that's where the smoke particulates and that's where the heat is at. So you want to go to the door, you'll feel the door with the back of your hand. If it's not hot or anything, it's cool, you just easily open the door and you make your way out the house screaming fire. Let everybody know it's a fire, it's a fire. Become a part of that smoke alarm. Fire, fire, everybody out. And the people who escape injury, people who escape the death in the fires in the city of Philadelphia, which is a majority of our citizens when they have a fire, they walk right out of the front door.
Wow. And it's important to have a meeting place once you get out of the home, so this way it makes the firefighters know that if there are 4 people living in the home and they all met on the corner, then all 4 people got out. It makes your job easier in fighting that fire, that you don't have to worry about people that might still be trapped in the flames and smoke.
Absolutely. When we find out that someone is still inside, we risk our members. We swear that we will go in and rescue people, put the fire out, and those incident commanders around the city, they make that calculated decision to send people in to rescue people. So it is paramount to have that meeting place. You get out, if it's in front of Miss Smith's store, or if it's by that tree, or wherever it is, you get there, you make sure you call 911, you give an account, and you let the firefighters know. We would rather hear people going through the anguish of losing things in their bedroom or losing kitchen, or some cases, unfortunately, people lose the whole house. But we don't want to hear that high-pitched shrill of and the agony of a human being, a mom, a dad, sisters and families just screaming at someone still inside. So we'd rather have you out, taken care of, and we'll go in and we'll put the fire out. We'll take care of that part.
And that's also important because, you know, personal belongings, videotapes, pictures, you know, things that can be replaced, oftentimes people feel like they got to carry out as much as they possibly can. Not a good move. Get yourself out of that burning building.
Absolutely. We get attached to so many things and we feel like we've got enough time to save this. I have a list of situations that after we interview, the fire marshal does the interview, they talk to the people in the house, and they will tell us they went back inside to get a family heirloom. They went back inside after a pet. They went back inside because they didn't know everybody was out. Failure to plan. They didn't understand. Get everybody out. Everybody's out. Everybody's accounted for. You don't have to think that. Everybody's in one place. So it's important that they stay out. Get out and stay out.
It's important to have a working smoke alarm in your house. It's important to have an escape route and plan and a meeting place. And I want to go back to the smoke alarms because people may think, and I think you touched upon this a little bit, you know, I have one smoke alarm in my house and, you know, that's all I really need. You mentioned if you could put one in each room of the house, smart move to do. Upstairs, though, people may say, all right, you know, I have a smoke alarm in the front bedroom. Should I have another smoke alarm like in the hallway, in a general area upstairs? Because as we know, smoke rises to the top. So at night, and I'm guessing most fatal fires, not only in Philadelphia, but I guess generally speaking, most fatal fires occur at night when people are asleep because they're not up, the fire starts, the smoke rises, and of course people may be in a dead sleep and they don't hear the alarm go off. So yes, it's a good idea to have it in a general area of the third floor, the top floor, the living, you know, the sleeping quarters of the house?
Yes, the first smoke alarm that's placed in the sleeping areas should not go into an individual bedroom.
Okay.
It should go out in the common area, in the hall that adjoins all of the rooms, and it should be placed central to all of the rooms and on the ceiling in the center, right on the ceiling. That way, if you get smoke from any one of those areas, it'll be detected right away. And if there's smoke that comes up from downstairs, it should be an alarm that's already placed that starts to catch that and will start to sound the alarm, and then subsequently you'll have the other alarm that goes off. But the earlier you detect the smoke, the more time you give your family to get out of the house.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. We've looked, and over the years, we found that unfortunately people die different times of the day. Our stats for last year showed that we lost 20 people from 11 p.m. To 7 a.m. in the morning, but we lost 32 people between 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. So it was that statistic for across the country. You do find that early morning hour between 11 to 7 is where a lot of people lose their lives.
I want to mention about smoke detectors, smoke alarms in the kitchen, because people like to cook. You know, city of Philadelphia, a great city of neighborhoods, and everybody's cooking in the kitchen. And you know, chances are, if you have a smoke alarm close to the kitchen, you know, if whether you're burning toast or, you know, the chicken is getting burned, or, you know, the gravy is cooking and it's boiling over and it splashes and you got a bigger problem, you know, people say, you know, do I need to have a smoke alarm in the kitchen? Because, you know, again, if I'm burning the toast, the smoke alarm goes off. But Kidde, which we should mention is a great partner for the Philadelphia Fire Department, they have this new device. So tell us a little bit about what this new device. It's a smoke alarm, but it sort of has like an override button.
Yes, you'll note that there are two buttons in the center, And the one next to the light, where you see that light there, that's a push to test button. You'll push that button, and it will actually test the alarm. It'll tell you that all the circuits are working properly. Now, the other button is a push to hush button, and it's for all of our toast burners and for our fish broilers that get the alarm going, and it's people see it as a nuisance, and it's persistent. If you're still broiling or whatever and you haven't had a chance to air the kitchen out, it will cause the alarm to go off. This hush button, you press it, it will hush the alarm for approximately 8 minutes. Okay. And the great feature about this is it'll hush the alarm, it'll reset itself, and then it'll continue to operate properly. However, if there's a persistence in the smoke, or if it gets thicker, it will override the hush and will sound the alarm. So it's a really nice feature.
We mentioned Kidde because I know they really partner with you in getting these smoke alarms in the hands and in the homes of people who may not know that they need to have a smoke alarm or may not be able to afford a smoke alarm. So I know they've worked with you in the past, and the fire department has been great in getting these devices in homes, whether it's after a tragedy and you go back into the neighborhood to make sure everyone's got a working smoke alarm. So it's sort of great to partner with a company like this to sort of, you know, promote and move your mission along in getting smoke alarms in everybody's houses.
Yes, yes. Kidde has been a great partner over the years, over a decade of partnering with us. They work with the Philadelphia Fire Department and the many fire departments in the surrounding areas in the other counties, and they just supply these smoke alarms. We get them free. We have other supporters who pitch in and make sure that they pay, kind of defray the cost. And we just distribute them to those who, again, who need the smoke alarms, that can't afford them, those who have priorities in other places. We knock on the door, we talk to people, explain the importance of protecting yourself, as well as giving them home escape planning information and other fire prevention tips. But getting that alarm, that's the safety piece there. You know, putting up the alarm is not fire prevention, but it is life safety. So you can get the alarm, get the early warning, you can get out. But while we're doing that, we take the opportunity to do fire prevention and help people to be safe in their environment.
I mentioned at the outset of the program that usually at this time of year when it starts to get cool, and of course that cool becomes cold, people, again, for one reason or another, may go out and invest in a kerosene heater. They may invest in an electric space heater as a way to sort of supplement their home heat. They may not want to pay the gas company the money, or can't afford to pay the gas company the money, and so they'll go out and get these space heaters. And if these space heaters aren't properly placed, they could cause a fire. And oftentimes at night, you know, when you're sleeping, you throw the covers off and it lands on the space heater. So I guess you know, we should discuss a little bit about, you know, other fire safety things you need to do, that if you're going to invest in these type of alternative heating devices for your home, that they're safe, and that should they have like an automatic, you know, like a turn off system, that if it should tip over, that it automatically turns off, so you don't have to worry about it, you know, igniting, you know, the bedding or the rug that's on the floor?
Yes, one of the things that we asked all of our citizens to do, if they must invest in kerosene heaters, electrical heaters, that one, they do a little shopping and they get a quality unit. That it should be UL approved, or any of the other factory laboratories. They check the device out, make sure all the devices work as they are indicated, and they'll put their seal of approval on it. And then the other key piece is that they stop, read the manufacturer's instructions on how to use this appliance. And one of the things they have to make sure of is that it does have this device that's an automatic shutoff, and it's a leveling type device, and if it's tilted, it will shut off, or will prevent the heater from being ignited. It won't allow the wick to ignite. So it's an excellent feature. We ask that they make sure that everyone understands how to use or what to do with this heater. Children is a no-no.
Sure.
First thing you instruct your children is never to touch it, and it's only to be serviced by the adult. Okay, and if you have pets, you want to make sure that you purchase those things that will keep the pets away. They have little grates that go around the kerosene heaters and provide safety for the pets and for small children, which is very important. The other thing is when they fill a kerosene heater, to make sure that they fill it outside, away from the home. Therefore, they won't get buildups of spilled kerosene in rugs or in floors and things like that, which will make it that particular combustible much more easily ignited. So you take it outside, make sure that it's cool.
Sure.
You have a device that you can actually pump the kerosene in. Don't overfill it. Make sure you monitor the gauge. It'll show when it's full. And you cap it properly, bring it back inside, make sure it's in the place where it's going to be utilized. And that's got to be 3 feet from any other combustible in the area. Make sure you have a 3-foot ring, not near curtains, bedding, anything, furniture, anything like that. And then you can ignite it and safely use it. And we feel that you should only use it if you're in the room. If you're outside of the room or you're going to go to another area in the house, we're asking citizens to shut it off. It's better to be safe than to be sorry about not some malfunction or children tampering with it or whatever. So it should be monitored at all times.
Is it a good idea to have, and I know, oftentimes people will say they have a small fire extinguisher that they'll keep under the kitchen sink in the kitchen, for, a simple grease fire. But oftentimes that little, device that you have under the kitchen sink may not really help and may even cause the fire to actually spread. So while I guess it's good to have it there in the event of emergency, leave the fire and the fire handling to the professionals, I think you would agree.
Yes. Well, we believe in the Philadelphia Fire Department that if you have an extinguisher in your home and you have a small fire that you can extinguish, we believe that you should use that extinguisher. But in order to do that, you have to, again, follow the manufacturer's instructions and put the fire out. If there's a fire that you see you can't handle with an extinguisher, we want you to sound the alarm and get everybody out of the house. We never want you to fight a fire. If you have a small, and common sense, you have a small fire that's, you discover all of a sudden that's in a waste paper bin or something like that, and you have an extinguisher and you can put it out, that's all fine. We don't want you to stand there and watch a fire grow and take your home. That would be senseless. Use the fire extinguisher, use it properly. You should understand in the manufacturer's instructions, it explains exactly how to use the extinguisher, pulling the pin, discharging it at the base of the fire, making sure that it's extinguished, and making sure that everybody knows that there was a fire. And then you should carry on accordingly.
Also, this time of year, people will soon start to decorate their homes for the holidays, and people will pull out the decorations for the Christmas tree, and they may have a frayed electrical cord, which is not a good idea to use. Putting lights on real Christmas trees, you got to be careful, because if that Christmas tree gets dried out because it isn't properly watered, you have a device in your home that could go up, it could ignite, and of course then you're calling the fire department. So you really need to pay attention to what we've talked about thus far. But at this time of year, when people start to close up homes and they start to think about putting up the decorations, they need to be very, very careful about what they're putting up and how they're putting them up, because they want to prevent fires.
Yes, Paul, this is a joyous time of the year. People start in and they feel the holiday spirit, and we want to celebrate the holidays, and we want to show the lights and all of those things. And when people start to pull out those electric lights, they have to do one thing: inspect them, make sure everything is just like it was the year before. If you have wires that are frayed, you have to discard those lights. They are not very expensive. You can discard them, purchase a new set. UL approved, of course, and make sure that you follow the manufacturer's instructions as far as putting those lights up. You want to make sure that if you're using indoor lights, they're for indoors. If you're using outdoor lights, they're for outdoors.
Sure.
And it's very important that you do that. Extension cords, if you have to use an extension cord in this case, you have to make sure that it's rated extension cord, and extension cords are just that. They're temporary. They're temporary. You don't want to use this on extension cord on an ongoing basis. So as long as you make sure that the gauge fits the appliance, you should be safe. And you have to make sure that if you leave the room again, then you need to unplug the appliance so that way you don't have any breakdowns in the system that's not observed.
We have just about 3 minutes left in the program, and I know that you probably, again, want to thank all of the men and women who work for the Philadelphia Fire Department. And I know that every year you have Firefighter of the Year, and again, that's another recognition that is bestowed on a great firefighter in the city of Philadelphia. Could you share a little bit about who this year's Firefighter of the Year is?
Well, we have several awards. The Firefighter of the Year Award is an award that's given by the Fire Museum, their corporation, and they select a Firefighter of the Year and a Paramedic of the Year. We also have our dinner dance coming up, and our huge award, which is the T. Seton Duke Award. And the T. Seton Duke Award is given to a firefighter and a civilian. They're awarded for their outstanding personal work that they do in the community for fire prevention, and it's named after T. Seton Duke, who was a great fire prevention person, known throughout this entire country as Mr. Fire Prevention. And we give that award. He worked closely with the National Fire Protection Association, and he was a member of our Citizens Fire Prevention Committee. So we give that award with a lot of esteem. Sure. And it's going to go this year to Lieutenant Fred Baker as the uniform person who's going to receive that award. He did a lot of outstanding work and continues to when he can in the community. He works with the children. He started a baseball league team right in the middle of North Philadelphia at 28th and Thompson, engine company number 34. And he's done a great job teaching the children fire prevention, sportsmanship, team, how to work as a team, and it's a great thing that he's done. And we have Barbara Bridge from a local company, Clear Channel, and they've done outstanding work. She's did a lot of work in fire prevention and getting the message out to the citizens to stay safe in their homes.
Well, it has been a fascinating half hour, and I can't thank you enough for your time. I know you're a very busy man, and of course, running a 2,400-member department is very challenging, and I know you're very, very busy, but I thank you for your time. A lot of great information, and again, Commissioner Ayers, we salute you and all the men and women of the Philadelphia Fire Department for a job well done, and keep doing what you're doing, keeping us safe, and you and your men and women stay safe also. We thank you for your time.
Well, thank you, Paul.
Our guest here on the Philly Factor has been Philadelphia Fire Commissioner Lloyd Ayers. And again, be safe. Start with that smoke alarm. Get that fire escape plan ready. Make sure everyone in the house knows about that fire escape plan. Find a meeting place outside of the home, and also practice your home fire drill. Very, very important. Needless to say, you take a few minutes out of your day, you practice that home fire drill, you will be going a long way to saving yourself and saving the lives of your family. For the Philly Factor, I'm Paul Perello.